Hi guys, Dr. Cliff here with HearingLoss.com, and in this video, I'm talking about hearing conservation programs. Hearing conservation programs were developed as a way to protect the hearing of individuals who work in loud environments. It includes a combination of noise exposure testing, audiometric testing, safety controls, employee training, and annual testing. When it comes to noise exposure testing, according to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, otherwise known as OSHA, the permissible exposure limit is an 8-hour time-weighted average of 90 decibels dBA. And for every additional 5 decibels in time-weighted average, it cuts the permissible exposure limit in half. The testing in these environments is done with what is called a dosimeter to identify the time-weighted average in dBA. Individuals who are consistently subjected to high levels of noise exposure go through audiometric testing to ensure that their hearing is not being affected. If they do happen to sustain either a temporary hearing threshold or permanent hearing threshold shift, steps can be taken to mitigate the future risk of additional hearing loss. Annual testing is often performed regardless of whether or not there is a perceived change in hearing. Safety controls can also be implemented to reduce high levels of noise, bringing them back down to a level that is actually safe, or at least reduced to a point where it is easier to protect your hearing with the use of hearing protection. Hearing protection such as earmuffs or foam earplugs allow individuals to safely stay in noisy environments that exceed the permissible noise exposure limits for longer periods of time. In order to understand the dangers of noise exposure and learn how to properly use these forms of hearing protection, companies with hearing conservation programs will often employ audiologists or contract with audiologists to train their employees. Sometimes just understanding the dangers of noise and learning how to properly use hearing protection will result in a significant reduction in hearing loss. Overall, companies love implementing hearing conservation programs because it keeps their employers healthier and happier while at the same time reducing their liability and the likelihood that an employee would file a workers' compensation claim due to hearing loss. So if you happen to work in a noisy environment and you do not have a hearing conservation program at your company, speak to your HR department about starting a hearing conservation program to help protect your hearing and the hearing of your coworkers. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure that you subscribe to the HearingLoss.com YouTube channel for more informational content.